Yo, what's going on, Kicks Army? So I got a question yesterday from Soul Demand, and he asked, how do you change the body and the soles when freehanding a shoe so it doesn't look similar to another? So I'm not really too sure what that means, but I'm going to try to decipher it. If you are asking how do I come up with new designs that aren't similar to designs that are already made, the answer is just trial and error. Like with each design, there probably went a good 20 sketches of designs that didn't work, variants of that design that didn't end up being chosen. And because I draw sneakers every day, I'm familiar with what is already a popular part of a design. So if I'm working on a shoe, I'm not going to give it an outsole that's very similar to a Yeezy. That being said, if you gave me a Yeezy outsole and you told me to come up with 20 variants of that, I could. And by the time I get to like the 15th or 20th variant, it's not going to look like a Yeezy outsole, it's going to be different. And especially if you add a different upper to that, it's a completely different shoe. So while I understand it can seem easy to kind of copy what's already existing, if you just change up a few things, you'd be surprised at how different it actually looks. You don't want to copy, but there is a lot of room in there for creativity. Now, hopefully that answered your question, Soul Demand, and in case you were asking something different, just comment back and let me know what you were trying to get at. But there is something else I do want to bring up. Anybody who is trying to like draw the shoes, an easy way to kind of go about it, because sometimes the how to draw videos don't work for you. Some people, you know, they're just not good at drawing, and that's okay. Everybody needs to practice in their own way that works for them. A good way to practice, and this is what I would do. So let's say you download one of my stencils and it's your favorite shoe or whatever. Trace over it. Get yourself some tracing paper or just get regular copy paper, place it on top of that and have some light source on the other side. So if you have a light box, that's perfect. Or if you have some thin piece of glass, put a light on the other side of that glass, maybe like a glass table, so that way the light can pierce through and you can see the lines, and just trace over the stencil. And what that should do is that it should start to give you a good idea for the feel of a silhouette of a shoe. It should start to get you familiar with how all the lines work to make sure that way the shoe looks proportionally correct. Because most of the time when I see somebody else's drawing, the immediate thing that points out to me is that the proportions are a little bit off. You know, the shoe is a little chubby, things aren't in the right spots. So if you're tracing over the designs and the stencils that I made, it will be much easier to kind of pick up over time, you know, how things work, and you'll get used to it naturally. And especially for some of you out there who like to maybe swap designs, so you want the sole from one shoe and you want a new upper or an upper from a different shoe, that's also very practical too. Copy the outsole, trace the outsole, and then do whatever you want for the upper. That's where tracing paper comes in handy, and if you have a light box, that's ultimately the best thing you can do. I have a light box in case I need to go ahead and render something else over again, especially with graphic design. If I'm working on a logo and, you know, half of it works but the other half doesn't, and I can't really erase whatever I'm doing, tracing paper can help you save a lot, and I mean a lot of time. What I think a lot of people's fears are when it comes to drawing is if they do something right, it seems impossible to go ahead and replicate that. But when you have tracing paper, you can go over those lines again, so that way you can have almost a restart. And, you know, don't feel like, oh, you know, I don't want to draw because if it comes out like how I want, I'm never going to be able to fix that, and then I have to work with that. Like, no, tracing paper can save you a lot of time. It can save you a lot of anxiety as well. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. As always, leave your questions down below in the comment section. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.